Welcome back to What Matters This Week. I'm Lauren Maloney. Joining us today is the Labor Commissioner for the Vermont Department of Labor, Lindsay Kurrle. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right, let's talk easy stuff first. The Department of Labor has a brand new website as of July. What can people expect?
Well, it's just designed to be much easier to use. We found that we are trying to encourage folks to reach out to us, both job seekers and employers. And formerly the site was a little bit complicated, a little bit harder to navigate around. So we're really excited. We think that when you land on the page, you are much easier able to find where you're headed and get your questions answered.
And as far as information that they already had readily available or maybe saved, whether it was a job search, that's all still easy?
Everything should, yes, still be easy. But I think, if you're a job seeker, when you land on the site, you're quickly able to go where a job seeker would need to go and find the tools. If you are an employer, you're able to find the tools you need to make sure that the Department of Labor knows maybe what vacancies you have, or maybe they're trying to pay their unemployment tax and they need help with that. So it's just navigating around is hopefully a lot easier for those who do land on that page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about right now. I know Vermont has seen record low unemployment for several months now, which is such a benefit from 2009, certainly. But, you see data that we don't. Are there still concerns that you see that you'd like to see changes in?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is we have the lowest unemployment rate in the country right now at 2.1%. So that means just over 7,000 Vermonters are, that they don't have jobs, but they have actively looked for a job in the last 4 weeks. Now, there was a study done a few years back by the Vermont Futures, and they estimated that we had a shortage of about 10,000 workers based on the folks who are aging out of the workforce.
I see.
And the pipeline coming in, the students that are in our education system. So as you can imagine, we have great concern that while from a job seeker's perspective, a low unemployment rate seems really great, from an employer's perspective, it creates many challenges. And one, it challenges them to grow their business, but it's also hard for them to simply maintain status quo. So
is the issue really matching the skilled worker with the right job, vice versa?
Yeah, so we obviously, Vermonters are a priority for us, and if you live in Vermont and you want a job and you have not found a job, our goal is to make sure that we match you up with an employer based on your skill set. And let's say you need a little boost in your skill set to be ready for those in-demand jobs. We have federal and state dollars that we can provide folks for training opportunities to ready them for those positions. And we, again, we feel like if employers are sharing with us what their real job vacancies are, we have a much better opportunity to match them with the folks that are looking for jobs. So again, it's important, I'm just going to say it again, if employers share with us, we have a better opportunity than if they're just anecdotally saying, we can't find people.
And you had mentioned programs. I understand that VSAC was offering, different kind of loans and stuff when it came to training programs that the governor had mentioned in his State of the State.
Right. So the governor has had in his budget had asked to boost the advanced degree grants.
Sure.
And so if you want to, maybe it's getting a CDL, or maybe you would like to be an LPN. With VSAC's help and many others, it's a big collaboration of efforts to try to make sure that folks have the training they need to be successful and have jobs that will support themselves and their loved ones. So again, there's a variety of opportunities, and sometimes folks don't know where to go. But I would drive them to the Vermont Department of Labor website to say, start there, and if, hopefully you're going to find a path to getting to us and getting those answers. But certainly also pick up the phone and call us.
Which sectors or fields are really booming right now?
All of them. Honestly, we are seeing wage growth all over the state as a result of the low worker or the worker shortage. So some of the areas we're really trying to put extra effort in to putting workers into are healthcare, manufacturing, construction. They're all areas that have really been challenged to fill much needed positions. And so, again, I mean, honestly, if this is a time that you want to get into a field, this is the time to do it.
Now's a good time.
Right now is a really good time to do that. So.
You had posted in one of your commissioner's message in your report a few months ago that there were some companies dealing with posting fatigue. What did you mean by that? And is it still an issue?
Yes, absolutely. So what I meant by that was companies have been looking for employees for so long, and they post jobs, but they're getting frustrated because they're unable to fill those jobs, and it costs money and it takes time, and so we refer to it as posting fatigue. Like they're sort of, it's kind of like a job seeker who's given up on finding work, right? It's on the flip side, the employer saying like, oh, I can't find anybody, so I'm just going to stop writing, job ads. So again, we know that the jobs are out there. There is a variety of skill sets that are needed throughout Vermont in a variety of sectors. And honestly, there are so many people getting creative right now. There's a lot going on. We're partnering with with state agencies, nonprofits, community organizations, employers to really figure out how to pull people off the sidelines as well. Like maybe there's folks who have some barriers to employment, and together we're working to try to help break down some of those barriers and address them so that folks can come to work and be successful. And I'm happy to share some of those examples if you're okay. So for example, we're really making a concerted effort to work with folks who are incarcerated to make sure that they have skill sets so that when they leave incarceration, they're able to find jobs, again, in in-demand areas. We're working with folks in recovery, people with disabilities, mature workers, and that might be somebody who has worked in the past but maybe left
took a bit of
employment, took a break for a variety of reasons, and they want to come back in, and maybe they're a little bit anxious because technology has changed. Or maybe, maybe they have a loved one at home who needs their help, and so they have a little bit of a barrier in trying to make sure they can get to work. Those are things that we are all working together to try to resolve, and it might mean an employer offering a more flexible work schedule. There's a lot of great examples of that happening right now as well. So it's unique. I mean, it's frustrating, but it's unique to see everybody roll up their sleeves and try to figure this out together.
You had mentioned creative ways that businesses were trying to find workers. I know the governor mentioned too, just to go back to his State of the State address, that I think it was a Northeast Kingdom company that had put an ad in like a mountain biking magazine. They weren't in that kind of field, but they had got the person they needed just because, okay, I'm going to live in Vermont, I'm going to take that recreational opportunity, and the job fits.
Absolutely. We have such great natural resources and great outdoor recreation, and so employers are finding that if they really play upon that, whether it's the ski industry or the biking industry, that folks, they want to come to Vermont not just to vacation or to play. They want to move here, and these are opportunities to spread the word through industry or recreational outlets to say, hey, come to Vermont. You can ride your bike every day, and we have a great job for you.
Yeah.
So, we're seeing that kind of creativity. I'm sure you heard about the incentives to recruit remote workers.
Yeah, that went viral, right?
Right,
Everybody picked up on that story.
And so again, I mean, there's no one answer, and I also want to reaffirm to people that Vermonters are a priority. We definitely want Vermonters to have jobs. The Vermonters that want jobs have good jobs and security. And we don't have enough people to work. And so we really do need to reach outside Vermont. And it's not an either or, it's an and. We need to do both. But I just, it's important for us to make sure that Vermonters understand that they are our first priority.
Lindsay, I appreciate you being here.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back on What Matters This Week.